Okay, first I'm gonna go in with my Master Prime by Face Studio Blur and Illuminate Primer. I don't really know how much this actually does, but whatever. I like the idea that it's doing something. It's supposed to blur and illuminate. I mean, it looks like it on my skin, but I don't know if it actually shows up, like makes a difference after I put my foundation on. Cause I can definitely see it. I definitely look glowy. I don't know about the blurred part, but I definitely look glowy. And I haven't used this that many times, so we'll see how it does. And since I have big, huge pores, I'm going to use my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I got this little sample size from somewhere. I can't even remember. But I love it, so I probably should go buy the real thing at some point. So I'm just going to apply that with my fingers also. And this stuff, this is the good stuff. This blurs. This really blurs. And fills all my pores. So I'm just going to put that under my eyes where my pores are the largest. And a little bit on my forehead. A little bit on my forehead. And that should be good. Now I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Foundation in the color 330. And I'm also going to apply that with my finger. I'm going to just dab that around. Yeah. And then just dab this in all over my face. And this foundation is medium to full coverage. You could build it up. I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Pure Beige. I'm just, oh no, that's sprayed out of there. I don't even know how that even happened. So I'm just going to put this on my hand. And then also use my finger to tap this in, just because brushes kind of take too long for me. And I just feel like it makes it better with the foundation when you use your finger. And you know, like you can use your finger to warm up the concealer. So I'm just going to tap it in first, and then I'm going to go with my beauty blender after. I'm going to bring this on my eyelid just a little. I'm going to just dab it all the way up to my hairline on both sides. Covered. So, since I've been getting little to no sleep lately, I'm going to go back in with my NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. I don't know, in the color beige. This one's a little thicker, and it's well, it's supposed to be full coverage, so we'll see. I'm just gonna get that with my finger also. I'm gonna go under eye. This one's a lot thicker than the LA Girl, so I'm gonna work this in with my finger and like just my finger. I'm gonna keep this one more towards the under eye part, and I'm gonna bring it up onto my lid. I'm going to use my beauty blender and this e.l.f. HD, I think, hold on, I'll tell you the name in a sec. So it doesn't crease. When I use the NYX full coverage, it has a creasing problem. So, well, it doesn't have a creasing problem. It just creases more than my LA Girl does. So if I put, so I'm gonna just set it a lot. Like, I'm gonna bake, like full blown bake. And I'm gonna let this sit while I do my eyeshadow. Because, like I said, I'm doing a full blown bake. Like, I'm not halfway doing anything. So it's gonna sit until I'm all the way done with my shadow. Okay, so I did put the powder everywhere, and I used this shade out of my City Color, drugstore, whatever, as my transition color, and I did that already. I'm having camera issues, so I got impatient. So I'm just gonna put that all over, more towards the top than the bottom, and I did that on both eyes. And now I'm going to get into some color. So I'm gonna go in with this shade next, out of the same City Color contour palette, and all these details will be listed below, but I'm using a blending brush from e.l.f. Then I'm gonna go in with this shade and then this one. And this is just, the darker I get, the lower I'm gonna move down into the crease. And I'm actually not gonna use that darkest brown on there because it doesn't show up as dark as you might think. So the darker I get, the more I'm staying to the outer corner also, because I want it to be more, darker on the outside. So Filthy Rich by Buxom. This one's really pigmented. And I'm actually gonna use a regular eyeshadow brush by e.l.f. and so I can concentrate the color more into my crease and my outer corner. And this is like just an orangish brownish, and you don't have to use this kind of shadow, of course, but I like it because it's like a reddish brown. Like, it's a brown with a red undertone instead of a cooler undertone like the other browns that I put on. So I'm packing this on, and then I'm gonna actually bring this down. Here as well. And I'm gonna go back in with that blending brush and just blend that out. Urban Decay brush, and I'm gonna use this side and just go into that black. And I'm gonna be really careful with it to keep this as low. And in this corner, I'm not gonna bring it out at all, really. I'm gonna keep this in the outer corner and bring it down just a little bit. It's okay. I'm gonna bring it up into the crease just a little bit, and I'm just gonna keep it on the outer corner. Just like that. And I'm gonna go back in with my blending brush, same one, and just blend that out. I'm looking for this to be really smoky. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go back into my Urban Decay palette, my Naked 2 palette, and go in with the shade Booty Call. And that is this shade here. It's just like a nudish, whitish, with a little bit of shimmer, but not much, like a tiny bit. And I'm actually gonna use my setting spray and spray the brush just so it is damp. because it'll pick up more color, and that's what you need when you use the shade. And just pick up a brush like this, and I'm gonna just pack that on the front. I'm trying to keep packing that on, keeping it on just the front corner, and I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit to brighten my eyes. And I'm just gonna bring it no more than halfway. And like I said, you gotta really pack it on just because it's a lighter shade, so it's not gonna want to be as opaque. I'm actually gonna bring it down here some. Now I want this shade, I'm actually gonna go back in with my blending brush. Just blend that out. I think that I want some more creamish in there, like I want more, so I'm going to go into this shade by e.l.f. No, I'm actually going to go into my Foxy shade out of this same Urban Decay palette, the Foxy. It's a little bit lighter, or more yellowy rather, it's not even much lighter. And I'm going to go with that same brush and pack this right on top of where I put the first shade. And now I'm mixing those two, the Foxy and the Booty Call. I'm just gonna make some. And I'm gonna go back in with my blending brush and just blend out the top. I feel like it's how I want it. Out. And I'm just blending the edges. I'm not really touching where I don't want it to be, where I want it to be the most white. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. Okay, so I did dust off my powder with just a powder brush from e.l.f. And okay, so all I did was add my lashes. Well, I said that already. I used Wet n Wild pencil. I don't know the color. It's an eyeliner pencil. I put that in the inside, and then I used a normal black pencil. I put it on the outer corner, and then just buff that out with the brush. I used this Vera Mona flat whatever brush, and then I just used my mascara, any mascara you choose, and then put it on the bottom, and then just put it on the top to blend with my lashes. So now onto the face. I'm gonna use my City Color drugstore contour palette, and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna mix these two shades, and I'm gonna put that right into the hollows with my e.l.f. bronzer brush. And I like to use this brush because it's a little more dense. I'm gonna put that right in the hollows of my cheeks. And I'm gonna do that on both sides. I'm not gonna do too much because I don't want a super heavy contour. And that's why I mixed the two instead of just using the darker color, just because I don't want a heavier contour. Because my cheeks are already pretty defined. I'm going to mix those two colors again and just put it around my forehead and my hairline to minimize my forehead size, because no, it's not it. So got that. I'm going to just use what's left over on my chin and my jawline. And then I'm going to use a flat, actually I'm not going to use that brush. I'm going to use an e.l.f. I don't know what kind of brush this is, but it looks like this. And I'm going to dip that into the bronzier shade. Well, actually I'm going to mix the two, just like I did the rest of my face. Come down the bridge of my nose, pulling it up to blend with my eyeshadow. And you have to pull it up to make sure it doesn't just look like a random line down the side of your nose. The shadow has to look a little realistic. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna bring that all the way under, then dust it under here. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my blush brush by e.l.f. and I'm gonna use my Milani Baked Powder Blush in Rose Dioro. I guess this is what it looks like. And I'm gonna, oh, he's gonna make noise. Sorry. And I'm gonna just put that on the apples of my cheeks. Can you warn him, Janelle? Sorry, I'm talking to my sister. But I'm gonna put that on the apples of my cheeks and just circle it around. I'm gonna do that on both sides. I'm not gonna bring it up too high just because you're not supposed to do that. It looks more natural when you bring it down. And so now I'm going to highlight. I'm going to use this crown brush and I'm going to go back into that Naked 2 palette in the color Half Baked. Looks like this. And that's what I'm going to use to highlight my face. I'm actually going to spray my face with setting spray before I highlight, which is kind of weird, but it gives the highlight something to stick to. Oh no. It's like my eye is cramping or something, my eyelid. Okay, we're back. So I'm just going to use this and do the tops of my cheeks. And I like to be super glowy. And it's summer anyway, so. Well, it's about to be summer. My eye is doing some weird stuff, guys. Feels a little crazy. I'm just going to dust that. I'm going to bring it down. I'm just going to blend right in with my blush so it doesn't, it's no lines. It's going to blend right in. And I use this as a highlighter just because it works better than the highlighters that I bought. It is eyeshadow, but still works just the same. I'll bring it up a little bit. So now I'm going to just go on the forehead. Just give me a bit of a dewy look. And then a little on my chin. I don't go too heavy on my chin just because it starts to look a little weird to me on my face. So I'm going to do a little on my chin. I'm going to use my finger to do my Cupid's bow. And I'm also going to use my finger to do the top of my nose. I'm not going to go all the way down just because it's a bit much for me. I'm going to use my other finger to blend that in a little bit. And then I'm going to go, whatever's left over in that brush is going to go on the tip of my nose. And all I did was use this NYX lip liner all over my lips in the color mauve. And that's the look.